Hello and welcome back to the Peak Endurance Podcast. My name is Ron Tate, and with me is.
Isabel Tate. You
Yep.
meant to say, I am your host, Ron Tate.
Oh, I think they got that.
Did they, though?
Yeah, unless Ron Tate just happened to walk into the room while we were recording.
Yes. Anyway, how are you, Ron?
Good, good. Tired but good.
Yes, yes, we are tired. We
Yes,
had a late night
we
last night. By the
did.
time I
Oh,
got to sleep, it was 11 o'clock, and then the alarm went off at 5. Fun
no,
times.
yeah,
Fun times.
no, a bit tired, but
Mm-hmm.
otherwise okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well rested because it's been raining in Melbourne.
Mm.
I don't like to run in the rain.
So you're not running, is what
No,
you
not
mean by
so.
well
Yeah,
rested.
well rested because I haven't run for
Well,
2 days.
well, you were get okay. We need to explain that better, but let's go back a bit. Because people don't know why you didn't run yesterday, and they don't know why we went to
Yeah.
bed at, like, such an incredibly late hour. So,
We've decided to become night owls.
yes,
Yeah.
because it really suits our lifestyle.
Yeah.
So anyway, update. All right.
Right. Well,
So,
you may have read about, or you may have heard this on the Channel 9 news.
yeah.
I think it was reported
Oh,
there.
yeah, because it's very important news. I'm out of the boot.
Isabel's out of the boot.
So let me go through it though, because last Friday I'd had the X-ray. And I'd said to you, oh, she didn't seem too keen. She
No.
seemed a bit, yeah. And it
Yes.
was, I used to be a teacher. I understand teacher talk where you say something nice to hide the fact that you're saying something actually not very nice.
Yes.
And that's what the vibe I got from her. Anyway,
And just before we go any further, I just want to highlight the fact that um, during the podcast last week,
oh,
you bet me $1 million that you would still be in the boot in 2 weeks' time.
well, like I said to you in the text when you told me that, um, I said that to make myself feel better just in case I had to be in the boot for another 2 weeks. So I wasn't anticipating not. This microphone is like jabbing me in the guts, the arm for it. Anyway, I digress. So anyway,
Yeah. So what happened?
for once, Ron's right. So he's got to
For
milk
once.
it for all he's worth.
Yep, that's
Enjoy
right.
the moment.
Yep. I
Now you
finally,
know what it's like
I've
being me.
finally heard those words. Ron was right.
Anyway,
Yes. So
yeah, so anyway, and then got off the pod, did all the other things that we do, and then I got a text from the physio saying that it's bad, get the boot on, no more training whatsoever, boot constantly, and don't take it off, don't do any exercise. And I've been looking forward to my 3 hours on the stationary bike, which sounds like hell, but it's actually not too bad.
you've come to love it.
Oh, let's not go too
Love?
far.
Maybe not love.
Not love, be okay with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, we've got to get you to see, got to get a CT scan. And then he wanted me to go see a sports doctor. And I'm thinking, so I've got to go to the doctor to get a referral to see the sports doctor, and then go to the sports doctor to get a referral to get a CT scan, then go get a CT. And I'm like, that's a 2 week operation. So I cut out the three middlemen. I went to the bulk billing clinic on the Sunday, got my referral, and I was getting a CT scan by 9:45 a.m. Monday morning.
Yeah.
Right? Because I just rang them and said,
Yep.
let me come. And they went, sure,
Absolutely.
Isabel.
Isabel. Oh, Isabel. Yes,
Hey,
absolutely.
the student girl who did the scan remembered me. And I said, me again. She's like, oh, yeah. Well, she was sort of like, oh, as if, do you remember me? She thought I wouldn't remember her. So
Yeah.
anyway, anywho, the CT scan, so then I got on to Luke Nelson because I thought I need to go see someone who knows me and knows my body. I mean, the
Mm.
physio is great, but he doesn't know my history. I've been seeing Luke for years, and I don't know why I didn't go to see him to start with. It was just one of those things where I wasn't even going to go see anyone, and Nikki kind of just made the appointment for me. So, you know. But anyway, so I went back to see Luke. Oh, but I spoke to Luke and said, I'm coming to see you. Here's the scan. And he rang me and said, no, it's all good. We can get you out of that boot. Come in. And I was seeing him by midday on Monday. So like I've fast tracked this
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm sick of the run around of waiting for scans of this, of that, and waiting and waiting and waiting.
Stressing and not knowing and
It's like,
stressing.
for God's sakes, we're living in a fucking first world country.
Mm.
Why is this happening that I've got to go see this? And I didn't pay for the CT scan. I got a referral from the doctor and I didn't have to pay. I didn't need a sports doctor. And what's
Mm.
the point? You go pay $90 to see my doctor. So that's why I went to a cheapo bulk clinic bulk billing clinic instead. And I actually
Yeah.
really like the doctor. I'll go more into that.
Yeah.
And then I'd have had to pay $90 to see my doctor, $350 to go see the sports doctor, all to get a referral that supposedly I don't pay for the CT scan. No, I've already spent well over $1,000 on this whole debacle. Yes, when I went in to see this doctor, he was like, talk me through exactly how it happened. And I think he thought it all rather amusing, when I told him that I fractured it at 39K, and then I wasn't sure, so I kept running, and he went, oh yes. I said, for another 2K, and he just burst out laughing, putting his head down on the table. And then I explained to him about New Zealand, and he's like, oh my God. And then I said, and then I got home and I went for a couple of runs, and then he laughed even harder. I think there were tears coming out of his eyes at my ability to run on a broken ankle and ruptured ligament. So yes, he thought that was hilarious, but yes. Anyway, so yes, I'm out of the boot. I'm walking without the boot. Obviously, I was walking before, but with the boot, which was kind of being hop along Cassidy. So so we're walking.
So no running just yet,
No.
but walking with purpose.
Yes. So I did 20 minutes today.
Yep.
And I will be doing 30 minutes tomorrow. Woo!
Woo-hoo.
But I started 10 minutes Monday, then 15 minutes Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, sorry, we just ate lunch. We've got to be Speedy Gonzalez because I've got my webinar with that group coaching with my coaches again at 3.
So things went from not progressing at all to suddenly progressing quite quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, thank God, because the boot is so uncomfortable, so annoying. Everything takes 20 times as long because you've got to get in the boot, out the boot, in the boot, out the boot, and then when you got to walk with it and it's uncomfortable. So yes.
So, and this was all these discussions and what's going on were all happening as we were driving into the city, basically.
Yes, on Saturday.
On Saturday evening?
Afternoon.
Afternoon/evening.
Yes, it was evening when we came home.
Yeah.
Yes, we went in to see Melbourne front yard ultra. Yeah. Sorry, not the backyard.
Not the backyard. No, if we went out the backyard, we would have been there all by ourselves.
Yes, so
everyone was hanging out in the front yard.
Yes, so we saw the start for that. It was kind of cool watching the different strategies pan out for the first lap. Some chick came in at 38 minutes.
Yes, and I did notice that the guy who won, whose name escapes me, wandered off at the very back of the pack on the first lap.
He wasn't out there sprinting and getting a 38-minute first lap.
That first lap was very much a fun warm-up for him. I think he might have
all you need.
Almost even come in last. He might have picked, maybe not quite last, but certainly, he wasn't coming in at 35 minutes with the first people.
Yeah.
And that probably
because he's smart and he was using strategy, and it just goes to show that it's about being slow and measured. It's not about sprinting. And yes, of course, you want to do some fast ones during the night so you get a bit of extra sleep. But in general,
the first lap at 4 o'clock in the afternoon is not the lap that you need to sprint on.
No, absolutely not. And it's quite telling that you saw him come in quite slowly. And that girl, well, I mean, we didn't hang around for long, but certainly didn't see her in the later hours with all the other people. So.
And we did happen to see the young fella, 12-year-old.
Yeah.
I did point him out to Isobel, saying,
his kid there.
He's very young at this sort of a race.
He was 12 and did 60 odd Ks, 60 point something, because it's never a perfect number.
Yeah.
Unless it's 100 miles. Yeah. So, so that was awesome that he did that, and he had some mate crewing him. He was running with his dad, but then there was this 30, like he's 12 and his 13-year-old mate was crewing. I thought that was awesome.
That's getting him in young.
I would have loved to have seen how he crewed him, whether he must have done a good job, what he did. That would have been really interesting. I wish someone had done a little doco of that for the Adventure Film Festival. That would have been interesting. And then we saw Pam Muston, which was great to see. She was crewing. We saw a couple of my athletes. One of them, he was running. He was just doing it as a training run for the UE. So that was Toby, and he was running with his dad, which was lovely to see. And we saw Ben Stewart. He was there crewing for a mate. And we saw Steph Ellis. She was there helping out. We saw Tab. She
Yep.
was yeah. So
Yeah.
she was just visiting.
Just visiting like us.
Yep. And
Yeah.
yeah. So it was great, and we saw Sean, and
And
you know.
and Stuart,
Yep.
both who organised the race.
Yep.
You'll know Stuart from his
He does the
he
videos.
does the social media stuff.
Yep.
And yes, of course, Sean Kessler, who organises all that. Was it what's it the
Ultra Adelaide Theories.
Ultra Adelaide
Ultra no Ultra. I don't
Ultra
know
Series?
something.
We know him well. We
Well,
love
relatively
to
well.
run his
We
Ultra
like it.
Adelaide.
Yeah, Ultra Adelaide's a great event.
Yep.
And he runs a really good event,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
you know. So, and I mean, and he runs lots of events and they've got great numbers, but it still has such a grassroots feel.
Mm.
It certainly doesn't have a UTA feel,
Yeah.
thank God. I mean, not, there's anything wrong with UTA. I've done it before it was UTA, and I've done it since. And anyway, I digress again. But yeah, always his races have a grassroots feel while still being
Well
really
organised.
well organized. Because
Yeah.
you often go, oh, grassroots, it's going to be just a fucking shambles. But it's not. His races are not. And he always, what I do love about Ultra Adelaide is he has, you know, proper bottled water, not tap water from a rusty tap.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
yes. And then the reason we were late last night was we went to the Banff Mountain
Mountain.
Film
Yeah,
Festival,
that's right.
which was not really you know, I got the email, Mountain Film Festival, all these adventure movies and paddling and mountain biking and skiing and climbing. I'm like, "Ooh, that sounds good, Ron, let's go." And he's like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome." And I've been before. I went when I was in Banff in Canada. And it was shit.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, there was a couple of good ones, but even then they were only good compared to the other ones.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
That's all it was, because
Yeah.
I've been to these sort of adventure film festivals before and they are awesome. But these
Yeah.
were like shit.
Yeah, no, they weren't great. They were more documentaries
Yeah.
and
Nature
nature
documentary,
documentaries
not
rather than
adventure
adventure films. Yeah, we didn't go there to look at a nature documentary. That would have been the Banff
Yeah.
Nature documentary
Well, they could have
festival.
called it National Geographic or something. I mean, it reminds me of articles I used to look at because we used to get National Geographic as when I was a kid. We were subscribed to it, and it was
Yeah.
those kind of
Yeah.
articles like the eagle huntress. You know,
Yeah.
those, because when they would just do a picture of her face, I was thinking, oh, that looks like National Geographic photos. You know,
Yeah.
and the other one was some whatever thing,
Yeah.
Alaska thing about water, like
Yeah, nothing to do with adventure.
no. So it was like,
Yeah.
and we spoke to a few other people and they were like, oh, I was trying not to fall asleep and, it was a bit average. So nobody loved it,
Yeah.
except for the people who clapped at the end. Why you clap when you go to the movies is beyond me. But they were clearly a little bit, I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, not quite what we're expecting, unfortunately.
Wasn't worth staying up that late for.
Yeah, no.
Which is a real pity because, the tickets aren't exactly cheap. It's a night out on a school night, like that's hard for us.
Yeah, it is.
So it's a big commitment and,
Yeah.
and then to have average films because they've got an agenda, like,
Yeah.
oh, please.
Yeah.
Please. We just wanted a bit of escapism and fun and,
Yeah. We didn't want to be
lectured
and, yeah. So sadly not what we're expecting and not what we're hoping for. So yeah, hopefully
Warren Miller.
Yeah, Warren Miller. We're kind of
about the ski movies back in the day.
The real adventure movies.
You used to go see the Warren Miller ski ones, and
at the City Hall.
Oh, I can't remember where.
They quite often showed them at the City Hall. So I remember going to Caulfield.
I remember going to the cities to see them, but
I mean not City Hall, Town Hall.
Oh, okay. Well, I went into the city anyway. Warren Miller used to do the voiceover, and he was hilarious. But even after he died, and his son started doing it, his son was pretty good. No Warren Miller. There's only one Warren Miller. But the movies were always fantastic. The whole time it was just fucking awesome skiing.
Yeah. And so, like they had surfing very.
No, that was originally it was just skiing.
Yeah,
Warren Miller was just skiing back in the day. They added surfing and some other things, I think, to try to broaden their appeal.
Yeah.
But originally it was just skiing. When Warren Miller was alive, that's all it was.
Right.
And if you weren't a skier, you generally didn't know about it, right? And this was like the total opposite. It was
Yeah.
boring. It was trying to be too artsy fartsy in most of them. And it's like, oh, come on,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, just, yeah, very disappointing,
Yeah.
really disappointed. So, yeah, I filled out the feedback form and told them that I was
As I said,
disappointed.
no prizes for Isabel.
Yeah, because it's fill out the feedback form and enter the prize. Yeah, no, they'll go look at mine and go, oh,
Oh no,
we'll pretend that one didn't
should
come
be
in.
struck off the list.
Yes, yes. And what about
Uh,
you, Ron? How are you doing, seeing as we've talked
yeah,
about peeing my
so
boot?
I've been doing a bit of running, just kind of ticking the legs over, not training for anything. Just I did a 25K run last weekend,
What are you going to do tomorrow?
just up into the hill and back.
And what are you going to do tomorrow?
Probably about the same distance again, but I might keep it. I might stay on the flatter stuff tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I think I might just, run on the street somewhere.
Run the main streets
do
of
a big
Britannia.
do a big loop somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be one of those. I'll see where it takes me, and
Maybe you could
then I'll
do
kind of.
like the border of Ferntree Gully. You can map it out. Remember we did that with Baroni?
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah,
Yeah, do something like that,
yeah. I
maybe.
might even think about that. Because Ferntree Gully's a pretty big
It's pretty big. It might be
suburb.
over 25K.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure you're out long enough so I can get my 3 hours in the mountain
Oh,
boat.
so if I do a flat one, I'll be back too early.
Yeah, not mountain bike, fucking stationary bike.
Yeah.
Fuck my life. I'm back to Luke on Monday, so we shall
Yeah.
see. I'll be sprinting marathons by the Saturday, no doubt.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right, it is starting to get warm now. Do you want to just click it down a few notches? What have I got the heater on? Can you see? You've got
35.
35. Yeah, maybe click it down to 30, we don't want to get too warm.
If I'm a bit red in the face, you know why, because the heater is literally right behind me.
And we should move it over to, oh, let me show people what I've purchased in my desperation when I was injured. Well, was injured. I'm still injured.
Yes.
Okay, those people who aren't watching YouTube, well, you'll still get to see, and you can all laugh at me. Cardigan. Have you heard of Cardigan? It's a knitting club.
Isabel, for the record, Isabel has taken up knitting.
Not yet.
And when I say taken up, the intention is to take up.
There's my
knitting.
knitting needles, because this is for special people who don't know how to knit.
And when
It's another set.
what did I say when you told me you were going to take up knitting?
Fucking idiot or something like that.
No, I said, as if you have the patience for knitting.
I'm trying to develop the patience, okay? So there's my knitting needles. Well, you can thank Nicole Barker, all right?
She's
forced me to.
When anybody...
She got my arm, she twisted it and pulled it right up behind my back.
When anybody says you shouldn't, put yourself out of your own comfort zone.
See, I'm putting myself out of my comfort zone. Last time I tried knitting, I was in high school and I gave up and my mum finished it and she wore it and I was jealous. That's what I'm making, a red bobbly jumper. Right. It's going to be fucking awesome.
I'm sure it will be.
So I have to show progression.
We'll be reporting on this every week to see how it goes.
Okay.
And so what I'll do is I'll just hold this ball up in front of the camera and say, this is what it looks like this week. And I'm tipping that next week I'm going to be holding the same ball up with the packaging still on it.
Fuck off. Prick. I
love your enthusiasm.
I've been wanting to do this for ages, but Ron kept putting me off. You did. You knitting shamed me. You said there's no way you'd be able to do that, and I got all funny. And then when I was talking to Nicole, and she said she does it, and I, should give it a crack. And I'm like, I've been wanting to, but Ron made fun of me, and she's like, don't let that bastard get you down. She didn't say that.
Wow.
And so I went, fuck it. And while I was at the doctor's waiting to get seen, I ordered my knitting.
And I'm just by the by, I'm not saying you can't do it because you don't have the ability. I'm saying you don't have the attention span. That's where I'm saying that you can't do it. You don't have
an ultra that needs
you
attention.
don't have the attention span, and you don't have the patience.
Well, maybe those are things I need to work on.
And maybe this will be the jumper that does it. With a cardigan or
It's a
whatever.
jumper.
Oh, this is a jumper. Okay.
It's cardigan.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm in the gang
You
now.
are in the gang. You finally you've become a gang chick.
The gang of losers. So yeah, let's see how that fucking goes. I shall report on my progress next week.
Yes. Oh, if you don't, I will.
I know. Yeah. Oh fuck. I'm gonna have to watch, like, I've got to watch a video. I know, because I'm always scared of starting things because I hate that initial learning, that steep learning curve at the start. I hate it. And
Yeah.
but I need to do it because so I'm gonna start tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch the video so I know how to
So
cast
you're
on.
gonna go online
No,
and watch the video.
there's instructions that you can go to the special QR code,
Right.
and they've got a video of how to start, and they've got written instructions, but I couldn't be fucked.
All right. So I'm going to suggest right here and right now that you're going to pick up your phone, you're going to start looking at those videos, and then they're going to translate into other videos, and you're going to sit there watching other videos, and then half an hour later go, what was I watching videos for?
I blame social media. I used to have a great attention span. I used to sit and read a book all day, literally all day. No,
Yeah.
I get bored 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
Mind you, there's no good books. I've read them all. That's the problem,
That
I
is the
think.
problem. Yeah.
Anyway, are we
Yeah.
going to talk about running, or are we going to talk
Oh,
about knitting?
well, it is the peak endurance knitting podcast.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's true. It might be soon.
it?
I'll be sitting here clack, clack, clack while we're recording.
Yeah.
All righty.
I mean, my nan, not my nan, my auntie did go to the football and take her knitting to the football and knit while she was watching the football.
Yeah, well, probably made the football a shit ton more interesting.
So she was that old lady that used to sit at the football knitting.
Well, that's because football's boring. It's boring.
Meanwhile, my mum would be sitting beside her, going off her head,
Screaming
at the football. Yeah.
That'll be you next to me about my knitting, won't it?
Yep.
So maybe we'll be able to watch the grand final this year because I'll be able to knit.
You'll be able to knit.
And I won't have to watch that shit.
Yeah.
Well, we won't be watching it anyway because Richmond's not going to get in.
No.
Oh, I thought there might be a bit of pushback on that one, but
no pushback.
All righty. So what we are talking about today is an idea of Ron's.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty sensible. Must be a sensible thing we're talking about.
So what is it, Ron?
I forget. No, it's the different mindsets. I said mindsets. You said,
well, because that was too hard to go into.
Yeah.
In one podcast.
Yeah. So the different attitudes,
race strategies.
Race strategies.
It's right there on the bloody note. It says race
strategies.
Podcast outline. Race strategy
that you need to take into different.
What do they say? Don't work with animals and children or husbands. Jesus. We've discussed it. Even when I was stretching on the floor and you said this idea, I said, how about we make it race strategies? And you went, yeah, that's a good idea. And then we get here and
I couldn't think of the word we used.
It's there. It's see?
Oh yeah, there it is. So yes, different race strategies you should use for different race lengths.
What race lengths, Ron?
So we're going to look at the miler. We're going to look at the 100K. 100K.
Half marathon to 100 miler. Like literally. But you make it a 20-minute episode just talking about the miler, 100.
All right. So next
Once
week.
Again, this was your idea. I said, what distances? And you said, half marathon to 100 miler. And then as soon as we get on the podcast, it turns in, I don't know.
Yes. So anyway, so what should we start with?
Well, let's just think about it, because most runners use the same strategy for every distance. They just go and they run, right?
That doesn't sound like a runner.
No, not at all. But that's why they either blow up halfway through an ultra or leave speed on the table in shorter races. Or, blow up in a shorter race. Like, seriously, it's been done. I've DNF'd a 10K because I blew up. But today we're going to break down how race strategy changes from half marathon all the way to the 100 miler, pacing, fueling, mindset, mistakes, and what actually matters at each different distance. And that's why I didn't want to just say just mindset, because it's so many things, right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever done a half marathon, Ron?
Um, I don't think I have. No, not an organised half marathon.
Well, I don't mean just a run on the weekends, you doofus.
Yeah,
Is that what you're thinking is an unorganized one?
no. Yes, I don't think I've done a half marathon race where I've paid for an entry and
What a half
got
marathon
to.
race have you not paid for an entry in?
Well, I used to actually organise a half marathon race,
Oh, what?
the beer run.
Yeah, but that's a race.
Yeah, but I never actually entered it and ran it.
That's
But
what I mean. Have you ever run a half marathon?
and the answer is no.
Right, thank you.
I think
Jesus,
I
man.
covered that off at the
But
start.
you said, well, I kind of have. No, you haven't.
I
You
don't
organise it.
actually
That's
think
different
so.
to racing
I don't
it.
know. I can't remember. It's been so long.
Okay. Anyway, I've raced lots of half marathons, right? And they should feel hard. Okay. You're not sprinting. It's not a 5K or a 1500 meter. God, they're awful. Um, but a half marathon should feel uncomfortably hard. Like it's a harder than tempo pace. Well, probably a rain tempo pace, but yeah, I mean, tempo pace is supposedly the pace you can sustain for an hour. So, you know, yeah, I mean, I reckon half marathons should feel hard. You should feel like
Yeah,
you're working from the start. You shouldn't be taking it easy from the start. It shouldn't feel flat out. You shouldn't be absolutely burning matches at the start. You should never burn matches at the start of a race unless you're doing an actual 100-meter sprint. All racing, because everything is an endurance event, 5K, 3K, they're all actually endurance events, not just my ultra marathons.
mm,
So you have to still control your pace and you can't sprint. You literally can't sprint. But a half marathon should feel hard. I mean, I've done 10Ks that feel hard from the get-go. The half marathon should generally, I mean, not as hard as towards the end, but you should feel controlled but hard. It should feel controlled but hard.
yeah,
And I've done half marathons where the whole way I'm feeling decidedly uncomfortable, right?
yep.
What's the biggest mistake we make in a half marathon and quite frankly in all races?
Well, it's going out too fast naturally, and that is generally more perpetrated by men, but
Yes.
we're not.
Well,
It's not.
who finished in 38 minutes at the front yard ultra on the first lap?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
woman.
Well, and
And we noticed that it was mainly women
it
who
was.
came in under
I think.
42
I
minutes,
think the first five people that
if
came
not
in
more. No, it was more than that. It was like
was it?
eight. The first eight were women.
Yeah,
I was very surprised to see so many women burning matches so early.
yeah,
So, yes, it generally is men, but that's not to say it always is,
yeah,
So,
yep,
yeah.
yeah. So you can fake a 10
It's okay. See, once again,
K,
I
but
just,
you can't fake a good half
yeah,
marathon.
you can
Probably.
sort of fake a 10K. Like I said, I once went out for a 10K at sub 4 minute pace. Like I think I was doing about 350s. Like what a moron.
That's not faking a 10K. That's just going crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if
I
that's
think I DNF by about 4Ks.
so that would have been a great park run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was my 5K pace, but I
yeah,
think I realized, I mean, maybe I got to 5K and fucking died.
yeah.
Yeah, because what a moron. What a moron. I couldn't believe I DNF'd to 10K. The walk of shame back to the car was real. I had to message my coach and tell him what I'd done. That was fun.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, you can sort of fake a 10K and still do a death march to the end.
Yeah,
I didn't because I literally couldn't even do that. But you can. But a half marathon, that's a long way to death march,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
And you you do need to, have some nutrition, but it's not like a marathon and up where you must have nutrition.
Yeah,
Like a 10K, I wouldn't even drink water in a hard 10K. If I'm pushing a 10K,
you haven't
like
got
when I did my 10K
barely got
PB,
time to.
yeah, you don't have time to drink.
Yeah,
And what, 40 minutes,
yeah,
you don't need to drink in 40 minutes,
yeah.
seriously.
I mean, if you're running a 10K as fast as you can run a
You
10K,
can't drink.
drinking is not really an option. You
All I was
don't have the
focused on was surviving. It
yeah,
felt like I was going to die. It
yeah.
literally did.
Because to drink would be to
Yeah,
slow down,
would be
and
just
you
slow
don't
down.
want to slow
Yeah.
down.
And a half marathon, I reckon you could almost get away if you're doing like a 90-minute half.
Yeah,
which is what I used to do. And I didn't used to drink or take any. When I first started, I didn't have any nutrition because I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm.
And I was doing, 190, and I didn't drink or have any nutrition because didn't know
Yeah.
you were supposed to. But I would suggest with a half marathon having a gel on the start line and one at halfway. But that's
Yep.
pretty much all you need.
Yeah.
And a drink if you feel like it, like
Yeah.
probably only because of the gel. Like if you're a little bit dehydrated at the end, whoop-de-doo. Doesn't matter. You'll have a
Yeah.
drink and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right? I would still carb load, probably a 1 day carb load potentially, but no, nothing massive.
And what about a taper? What would you do as far as
Just an
tapering?
easy week.
Yeah.
Easy week. If it was an A race, then I would taper, 2 weeks. I would
Uh-huh.
still taper 2 weeks.
Right.
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
Yep.
So what's the mindset?
You need to be willing to get uncomfortable
Yeah.
because it is, if you do it properly, it's going to be
Yeah. Because
uncomfortable.
what we're talking about here is racing hard.
Yeah. Not going out for an easy run.
Yeah, not using it as a training run, not doing it as a social event. We're talking actually about racing at the
Yeah.
moment.
To the best of your ability.
Yeah, so that you get your best time. Like if you're going for a PB or whatever, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about participating, we're talking about racing.
Yeah.
And I am not passing aspersions on participating. I've done plenty of races as B races, just practice and training and doing it as a tempo run and or for fun and socials. And I have nothing against it. But we're talking right now about racing.
Yeah. Yep.
So yes, definitely willing to get uncomfortable and learning to hold the effort when it starts to hurt.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part I find saying to the marathon is that, and that's what I talk about stamina, it's that ability to hold on when everything inside you wants to stop,
Yeah.
which is why I used to collapse at the end because
Yeah.
I could finally stop holding on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the half marathon rewards some restraint early on, not too much.
Yeah, I
And
mean, you need to not go out like it's 100 meters,
yeah,
but
and
also
for a 5K,
yeah, not like it's a dawdle or
Yeah.
a fun day out on the
Yeah, you need to
with
be
friends.
working hard at the start. You need to feel that you're working, but not overworking
Yeah.
on the start.
Mm.
Okay. I generally did pretty well with the half marathon distance. Like the first half marathon I ever did, I did in I think 132. And then I trained for 6 months and did a half marathon again, and I got 131. And I was like, all that training for 1 minute. But now that I look back, actually, that's about right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because the one I did with 132, I didn't train for. That was when I'd just taken up running, and
Right.
I did some race at Lilydale Lake. That was my first race. And coming from cycling, I thought, I need to eat something good before the race. So I ate a big bowl of porridge. And I swear to God, that was the worst race. I still remember crossing that finish line going, I need to bath so bad. The whole run. And was so uncomfortable because of my belly so full of porridge.
Mhm.
So then I think this race was the next one. It was Princess Park. And I got an hour and 32. So I hadn't really trained because I didn't know what I was doing. I think I might have done a couple of runs here or there, but nothing.
Yeah.
There was no real internet going on back in the dark ages. So I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought you rocked up to race because I'd done mountain biking and, I just kind of used the same principle. So I did train, like I ran, but I didn't train specifically.
Yeah.
And then I bought a book and I trained for 6 months and I shaved a whole minute off. All righty, marathon strategy. Have you done a marathon as a race?
Yes, I have.
Let's clarify. As a race.
I have. That was the very first running race that I did.
What marathon was
It was
that?
the Melbourne Marathon.
Okay, nice. And what time did you do?
I did it in 4 hours and like 2 minutes.
Cool.
And of course, using my standard style, I think I was on fire until about 35 kilometers.
Okay.
And then you want to talk about a death march.
Yeah.
Because the Melbourne Marathon goes up past the shrine towards the end, or it did back.
Used to, yeah.
I think it was 2011, 12, early 2010s, and that there's a hill that goes up from basically from the river up past the shrine, and I thought I was doing a mountain run. It was that hill just
You were
seemed
like,
like
when
man.
did they put Mount Everest here?
That's right.
Mm,
I was cooked. I was so cooked.
mm,
I just had nothing left, and
mm,
pretty much. I mean, I did get a little bit of jogging in towards the end, but it was a death march
yeah, yeah.
because I went out too fast.
Mm,
And, you know, once again, I had no idea how to approach it. I just kind of went as
yeah.
hard as I could for as long as I could, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been all right at pacing. I don't know why,
Mm,
but yeah. My first marathon was meant to be Melbourne Marathon, but I overtrained and injured myself.
mm,
So then it was Great Ocean Road Marathon, and I did it, which is 45 Ks in, 3 hours 40 or something like that.
yeah,
And I remember for the first 10K, I had pain in my shins, oh so bad. But I was able to push through that, and that probably slowed me down a bit. So I didn't, and then
yeah.
so I did all right. And then I remember crossing the finish line and collapsing on the ground, as I always do. And then my body was seized by cramps, like cramps all over. I had my son on one leg, my daughter on the other leg, my husband at the time on my lower back, and I'm just like, I couldn't move. And then when I finally couldn't move, we got up and went to the chemist and got painkillers. um,
Yeah,
and then we got in the car and I had my race goodie bag and I got out the running magazine and it said how to run a sub 4 hour marathon. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. And I'd run a sub 4 hour marathon without even trying. I
yeah,
literally didn't try because I didn't know. And that's why I always say sometimes not knowing is better because you don't actually know what you're capable of.
yeah, yeah,
You actually impose limits on yourself by knowing too much sometimes, I think. If
yeah,
I'd known 4 hours is a barrier, I bet you,
yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so and I don't remember having gels or anything during that. I think I would have because I remember gels being introduced to me at one point,
Hmm.
but I certainly didn't have as many as I ended up taking when I got faster.
Yeah,
Um, I do remember there was this big guy, and it was quite windy because it's point to point, it's along
yeah.
the coast. Tucking in behind this guy and just, slipstreaming because I was from a cycling background, of course. So I knew all the tricks and I sat behind him for quite a while,
Yeah,
which was nice.
yeah. When I did the Melbourne Marathon, it was a very wintry day,
Yeah,
and part of the marathon runs along the side of the bay for
yeah,
about, I don't know, 10 Ks.
uh-huh.
And the wind was howling off the bay. And
Mm.
I was running with one of the pacers
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
pacing group. And the pacer was telling everyone to bunch in
Uh,
nice and tight like a football team,
oh, okay.
just to try and help protect from the
Yeah,
wind because
yeah,
it was terrible.
yeah.
It was
Yeah, well,
hard, it was cold.
my first Melbourne marathon was Frankston to Melbourne. And
Yeah,
when I eventually did do it, and I
yeah.
remember it was windy, it ripped my hat off. And it's point to point, so it was a headwind the
Yeah, that's right. At
whole
least when I did it, it wasn't
way.
a point to point. It was,
The
I think it
whole
was the first or maybe second year where it wasn't a point to point.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So we only spent about 10 minutes
yeah. Well,
along the bay.
10K or 10 minutes.
Sorry, 10K
Yeah,
along the bay.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Um,
So it was different,
yeah,
different back in the day. But
yeah,
anyway, at the end of the day, the marathon is a hard distance to get right.
yeah,
You've got to be mentally ready because it's a long way to be suffering.
mm,
And I certainly found that with my sub 3 hour marathon. I suffered the whole way. Like it was hard and uncomfortable and painful the whole way. And that's why I never raced a marathon again for 10 years. And even then, I only ran it for fun.
yeah. And that was my. I was so traumatized by it. It
Yes.
was my one and only road
Yeah.
run. I've
Yeah.
never done
If
another
you
road
run a
race.
marathon correctly, it's fucking hard and fucking horrible.
Yeah,
And there's like, and I've run plenty of marathons where they probably weren't quite so horrible, painful, but they were always hard.
mhm.
And it's always you get to about 30 Ks and you're like, oh my God, 12 Ks to go. And normally 12 Ks, like, what's 12 Ks? A shit ton when you're suffering.
Yeah,
Oh my God. And the marathon punishes tiny mistakes brutally. Didn't have a gel at the right time, didn't drink some water, oh, you'll be punished for that. Went
yeah.
out too fast, like your park run on the first 5Ks, you'll pay for
Mm.
that.
And I found because when I hit the wall,
Mm,
it was between water stops, so I was
yeah.
like suddenly I was so thirsty.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I didn't eat I didn't eat anything the whole time because I didn't know you were supposed to. So
By 2012, you should have known.
well, I've never I didn't know any runners. I didn't run with anyone. I didn't speak to anyone about it. I just kind of did it on my own bat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't really know much about it. So I didn't know you had to eat. And yeah, and it was probably only, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 kilometers between water stations, but
That's still a long way.
it felt like it was half the race,
Yeah, I
and
think
I
they're
was
closer
so
together now.
parched
Yeah. Yeah.
by the
And
time I got to, because it was going down St Kilda Road if people
oh
from
yeah.
Melbourne.
Oh.
So the last aid station was on Fitzroy Street, and then the next aid station was down near the river, the Yarra River,
Yeah.
and that stretch along that road just went on forever because I
Yeah.
was so thirsty. I'd hit the wall. Everyone was running past me, and I just felt like it would never end.
But it does. It does.
Yeah.
So that's why you need to stay on top of your gels. Like when I was running marathons fast, I was having one gel every 20 minutes. I tell athletes these days, run one every 30 minutes, if they're not, yeah. I mean, I still recommend 20, but I don't like to push people too hard. But you need that and you need to practice it in training. You got to stay relaxed early, as in when I say relaxed, I don't mean take it easy. I mean, relax. If you are relaxed, you're going to be burning less calories and using less energy. But if you're stressed from the start and what's my pace? And oh my God, like just try to run a bit more by feel, even for the marathon. Like when I first started marathon running, like that 3:30 whatever that I got for Great Ocean Road Marathon, I did not have a GPS watch. And also with that race, it's hard because it's undulating
Mm.
and, headwind and all that. Pace is meh.
Yeah.
So I just ran that marathon completely by feel. The second time I ran Great Ocean Road Marathon, and I came second female, I ran it by feel, right? So you can run by feel and do well. People think if you run by feel, you're going to be just, tripping through the tulips. No, run by feel. It should feel hard.
Yeah.
It should feel really
Yeah.
hard.
When you say run by feel, you don't mean run by feeling easy.
No, not by run by feeling good. I want to feel good. No, no, I
Mm.
run and it would feel hard,
Yeah.
but I could tell what was hard and sustainable versus what was hard and unsustainable.
Yeah.
And that time I came second, I'd been training with these guys from Knox Road Runners, like, doing training throughout the week. And this is where I learned that you don't win training.
Mm.
And they would always beat me in all the intervals. They were always way faster than me. We started the race, they all sped off on me. And I reeled them all in and I overtook them all and I did way better than all of them
Mm.
because I was controlled at the start. I also didn't use up all my racing in training, and I didn't, like the marathon is about control in training and racing, right? So don't go out too fast. It's not park run. You don't get any kudos. There's no king of the mountain or, jersey or the first 5K person jersey. It's not cycling. There's not different prizes. The sprint prize, the only prize is the person who, paces it correctly and crosses that line, feeling like they've absolutely emptied the tank without killing themselves. Okay, so
Yeah.
relaxed early. It should feel not easy, under control. The first 10K should definitely feel under control, but like you're working, like a tempo run, right? And then you start winding it up.
Yeah.
And then you start winding it up. And then the last 2Ks, you go flat out. And I was actually talking with Bill Bardsley. He's my athlete. He's in his 70s, so he's quite experienced at the marathon. And we were talking about that, and that's always been his strategy too, because I was saying that as the strategy. And he's going, yeah, that's what he does. And he goes, not that I'm really sprinting. I'm like, no, it's just stopping you slowing down. It
Yeah.
feels like you're sprinting. Your pace is probably the same, but if you feel like you're giving it your all, it means you won't slow down.
Yeah.
And, practice that in training. Well, you've done that with me before where I say, let's finish the run
Yeah.
with a 1K, not sprint, but,
Yeah.
pick up,
Yeah.
a fast pickup.
Yep.
And it's hard, but it makes you feel good, doesn't
It
it?
does. Finishing strongly makes you feel, releases those endorphins and makes you
Yeah.
feel really good about your run.
Yeah, and I want to start doing that sort of stuff again because I've gotten lazy. But yes,
Because normally if it's up to me, I finish my runs with a walk.
he does. I don't get it. I've always finished mine with a sprint, or not a sprint, and not always, but yes. Okay, so you got to stay calm in the beginning when people pass you. You can't let that define you. And in fact, like I do in ultras, and I've often spoken about, is I memorize, or not memorize, but I try to remember what people are wearing, and then in a marathon it's a bit harder, but in ultra that's what you do, and then you go, oh, there's so and so.
Yeah.
Trust your pacing, trust your training. don't go do shit in the race that you haven't done in training. I see it all the time, not with my athletes, thank God, but people who, oh, I was doing so well. I was so far ahead of my pacing at 10K. And then I don't know what happened. It just all collapsed. Yeah, I know what happened. You were so far ahead of your pacing at 10K.
Yeah.
That's what happened,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. People see that as
Oh, I would have
as
continued that way.
yeah,
No,
as the advantage of I was so far ahead of my pacing. Yeah.
can't put money in the
The
bank.
reason why the pacing was there was because that was how fast you should have run it.
Yeah. So yes, avoid emotional racing of, woo, I feel good,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Because as
yes.
you say, this too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
Yeah.
Yes. So let them pass you and then pick them off later. Like with all racing, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
Obviously, if everyone's being sensible, it won't happen. But
But
that
yes, I
that
think
doesn't happen.
that's not going to happen in most
But
races.
all my life, with all my racing, I've always been the person who cannot sprint off at the start. Even when I won 6 foot track, I was not first female from the get-go. I wasn't first female until the pluviometer, which, if you know, 6 foot, that's 3/4 of the way through the
Oh.
race. Right.
Mhm.
So, if not more, I don't know. I don't know it that well. Right. So, like calm the farm. Like
Yeah.
with what we spoke about the other week. Was it on this, or I think it was in one of my webinars? At the UTMB, the girl that won, Ruth Croft, when she
Yes.
won UTMB not that long ago, but
Yep.
we've all forgotten anyway. She was not doing well for the first 3/4 of the race. She was way back because she knows how to pace herself. Way back, like not way back at the finish,
She was
way back for
she
a
was in
top
100th
runner.
place.
Yeah, but I think she was like 15th or 20th woman,
Mm.
right? Way back at
Yeah.
that. And then she slowly, because, picked her way off because those other women probably went out too fast,
Yep.
And she knew that she's strong and she's got it and she trusted her training and trusted her nutrition because she was right on top of her nutrition. So this is what you have to do. And I mean, I'm saying this about the marathon, but I could say it about the 100K, I could say it about the 100 mile. It's all the same strategy, essentially. Only thing is with the marathon, you will start off at a much harder pace.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, we'll get into it more.
Yeah.
All right, so now 50K. Suddenly, ooh, you've transitioned. You've transitioned.
Oh, okay. Do you
From
have to do that to run a 50K?
and you can potentially detransition and go back to marathons. But no, you've transitioned from a runner to an ultra runner. Woo! No medical intervention needed. No regrets. All right.
Well,
So
maybe some regrets.
I don't know, really? You want to go back to racing marathons? Ugh. So the 50K is often where people suddenly discover ultras are not just 8Ks more.
No.
To be fair, my first marathon was 45K, so really, I've been an ultra runner from the start. And terrain makes
Yes,
a huge difference.
my second marathon was 43 Ks.
Oh God, that's not really an ultra,
Right,
but what's that?
roller coaster. It's
Ah,
always
yeah,
just a little bit over a marathon.
it was. Yeah,
So
yes, yeah.
yeah.
Effort-based pacing becomes more of a thing because, of course, because of terrain. Like with a marathon, you'll be having an actual pacing strategy of what pace you want to do. Effort-based for, trail running. You can't have a pacing calculator for that, as in I should be doing 6 minute 30 pace. No, because up the hills you'll be slower, down the hills you'll be faster, on the flats you'll be a completely different pace. And suddenly if it rains then and it's slip and slide like at Tarawera, I'm pretty sure they had plans for 6 minute Ks and they're doing 8,
Yeah.
right? So you just can't. You've got to race the terrain you've been given on the day because it can change day to day.
Yes, and the reason why we're talking more about terrain now is most ultra marathons tend to be on trails rather than
Yes.
roads.
Yes, I mean there used
You
to be
want
this
transition
yeah.
across the
There used to be more road, like there was a 50K Mansfield to Mount Buller. Look at the time.
Yeah.
Mansfield to Mount Buller.
Jeez.
I know.
What happened? Where did that time go?
I don't know. Talking about your knitting or something, Ron. Jesus. Stop hijacking the podcast. There used to be like Mansfield to Mount Buller, which would have
Yeah.
been great. But anyway,
Yeah.
so now we're off road. So, you've got to pace according to the terrain. You need to fuel. You'll need to have more fuel on board. You'll have to have like a pack,
Yeah.
right? But 50K, you should still be running that hard from the get-go.
Yep.
Not super duper hard, but hard.
But you also need to understand the terrain and the
Yes, what you're
elevation
dealing with.
profile,
Yeah, yeah.
or you need to do bit more
To be fair,
research.
when I did the 6 foot track and I won it, I did no research because I was just doing it as a training run and I just ran
Yeah.
from the start
You
and I just ran Isabel pace.
Yes, but I'm talking normal runner pace. Okay. Not I'm gonna win.
Well, didn't go there with the
No,
intention to
but you
win.
did.
I know, but I didn't go with it was a training run. I thought I'd come last. I just ran at my pace, at my feeling of working, knowing it's a race. So this is my feeling for racing, knowing it's a race and working hard.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore because I don't know how to do that anymore. I don't know how I did it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I start a race, I'm like, oh, just take it easy. It's a whole 50 Ks.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
Back then I used to go hard from the start. So I've got to try and recapture that somehow. I don't know how,
Yeah.
because it's a feeling. It's a drive. You've got to have that drive to be able to push yourself.
Mm, mm, you do.
You will need to hike strategically. To be fair, when I won 6 foot, I was hiking all the hills. And to be fair, as much as I say I pushed hard, I remember hating those hills. I remember stopping on the hills to get the sand and shit out of my shoes, but I was sitting on a rock going, fucking, So,
But I mean,
um,
you've also said one of the Maroondah races, was it the 30 or the 50K
the
that
30K when I won that, that was the first time I did a trail race.
yeah.
And I walked all the hills
Yeah.
and got passed by everyone. And then I'd pass them on the down hills because I remember seeing the Cool Runnings thread. That was back in the day. There was only Cool Runnings. There wasn't Facebook and
Yeah.
shit. People were like, who was that girl who was walking every hill, but then she'd run so fast down the hill? And I'm like, oh, that was me. And they're like, wow, she did well on the down hills, but geez, she wasn't that good on the up hills. Because I would like die because my coach told me that after you know,
Mount St. Leonard.
yeah, after Mount St.
Yeah.
Leonard's, it was all downhill from there. Only his idea of downhill and my idea of downhill were two very different things.
Oh.
So I was like, there's another hill. And, they're not that. But yeah, anyway, I struggled in that race, but I still broke the course record and won by miles.
Mm.
Um, but, I've broken course like the 30K trail race with quite a lot of vert in under 3 hours, 2:51 I did it in. So that's a solid pace in anyone's language. It's not like it's it's an old, the times were slower back then. I still ran a
Yeah.
solid pace. But I still hiked all the hills. And when
Yeah.
I did not hike those hills with purpose. That's why they commented because
Yeah.
I was lollygagging up them. And even at 6 foot track, I don't, I remember I've told you this story before. There I was across the river, and this guy goes, oh, there's first place up ahead of you. And I went, oh, well, I'm shit at hills. I'm never going to
Yeah.
catch her. And he's like, well, that's, come on, you can do it. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm shit at hills. It's all hills now. And but
Yeah.
whatever. So I didn't, none of those times was I hiking awesomely.
Yeah.
So I think I just ran everything else super fast,
Yeah.
right? Once again, aid station discipline, even in the 50K, you do not need to hang around, especially in a 50K.
Yeah.
A 50K, you could probably skip half of them. You've probably got enough on board anyway.
I mean, the last couple of 50Ks we've done, we haven't stopped at aid stations. We've had what we needed in our bag, and we've just
Because you need nutrition, but
Yeah.
you don't need 45 kilos of
Yeah.
nutrition. Like a few gels, a few Cliff Bars, some sports drink, Bob's your uncle, and a few lollies at the aid stations.
That's
You
right.
should be fine.
When we did Wonderfalls last
Yeah,
year,
we
and
did
we
it
did
with like that.
Macedon last year, and at both races we didn't stop at the
Because
aid
I go to the
station.
aid stations and there's nothing there that I will want to eat.
Yeah.
Like so. But in saying that, I remember Kathy Mack, she once did Maroondah Dam 50K or one of those 50Ks, I remember. And she brought no food with her, and she said she was just going to rely on the aid stations. And I was like, wow, go you.
Yeah.
All right. So some common mistakes is not eating enough because the pace feels slower and you feel
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not working as hard. You still need to eat.
Yeah.
And the common mistake could be treating it like a road marathon, but to a certain extent, I would say it should be about the same effort level.
Yeah.
Like you should be working hard if you want to do really well. Like
Yeah.
we've talked about, this is racing we're talking about.
Yeah.
But, you also need to work with the course. And I guess the reason why I was able to do those races so well as well was I was probably resting a bit on the
Yeah,
uphills.
that's right. Yeah.
I was getting recovery in. It gives you a chance to eat, all those sort of things.
As you said, it's no point running the hills
Yeah.
and using up all that energy if you're not particularly going any faster,
No,
because that means on the
clearly I didn't go
downhills
any
you're going
faster.
to be going slower.
Yeah.
So you'll lose any time that you might possibly have made up on the uphill. You're going to lose on the downhill.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you see people who run the uphills really solidly, and they get to the top and they're rooted,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So I used to walk them and then start sprinting straight away.
Yeah.
It was sprint walk,
Yeah.
all the
Yep.
kinds of things I hate now. But all righty, 100K. Now, quite frankly, I think 100Ks have changed. Back in the day when 100Ks were new, you could take them easier. No, you got to race them hard from
Yeah.
the get-go.
Yeah.
And I heard Rachel Entrican, she just won Cocodona. She was talking on a podcast, it was probably from a year or two ago. And she was like, even with 200 milers now, she thinks you need to start racing them hard from the start.
Right.
Right? She's like, it's a race. And it's true. These are races. If you want to do well, whether that's your own time or against other people, you've got to push hard.
Mm.
You're not out there for a Sunday stroll.
Yeah.
So she was of the mindset that even in a 200 miler, you need to be working, not cruising from the start. But once again, under control and manage it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, 100K. I just reckon you can still go a lot harder than I used to kind of think. But to be fair, when I did, my first UTA 100, I just went out with the same mindset as I always do. And my body just knows how to pace myself.
Mm.
So it's really hard for me to give instructions on how to do it because my body does it for me. But I was always working from the start, but not gassing it. You're
Yeah.
not gassing it.
Yeah. Whereas I also
What was your strategy?
I went into my first 100K doing my usual thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that I can only maintain that pace until about
It's
60Ks.
pretty good though to maintain it for 60K.
Yeah. After 60Ks, shit got really hard. I still managed to do a reasonable amount of running, but there was also a lot of walking on stuff that I should have been running on.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Um,
to be fair, like when I did go, the last 50K, I did a lot of walking and sniveling, but I still
yeah.
broke the course record and came second. So,
And that was my first 100K, and I still remember, speaking of Kathy Mack,
yeah.
at it was probably about 70Ks. I was walking along, and she ran past with a couple of guys
Yeah.
in a group, and she said to me, she said, "Come on, join on,
Join
join
the
the group
train.
and keep moving." And I was like, "Oh, what if I could?" As
Yeah.
I watched them disappear off into the distance,
Yeah.
I couldn't. I just used everything up.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you eat anything?
Yes, but it would have just been aid station junk. It
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't,
So
proper
you didn't have
food.
a fuel strategy, is
No,
what I'm getting
no,
at.
no, I didn't.
Whereas I did.
Yeah.
But although with Go, I remember the fuel strategy went out the window because I was feeling sick from the food, and my ex-husband was yelling at me to eat more, and he was getting so angry at me, which is just what you need when you're racing.
Yeah.
And he was yelling at me to eat and all that, and
Yeah.
so I ran off crying, um, as you do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you need a nutrition strategy for marathons, one gel every 20 to 30 minutes. Same with a 100K, gel every 100 meters, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it's the same, if not more, because I think more. I think you need to try to aim. It would be good to get 90 grams of carbs an hour. It used to be like 60, but now we're upping to 90. Okay, we're no David Roche. We're not going to be able to force 120 grams in. I don't know many people who can. So don't necessarily, I mean, try it. If it works for you, great. But I don't know many people who can do that. And it's sometimes backfired on him and he's been vomiting in that.
Yeah.
So it's not a perfect strategy. It only
Yeah,
works if
it
everything's perfect.
seemed to work perfectly when he was doing Leadville. It didn't work so well when he was doing
Western States
Western
because of
State.
heat.
Yeah.
It's harder to have all those carbs when it's hot.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
So yeah, with the 100K, there's a lot more that goes into it. You've got to have a strategy for running in the dark, for managing the lows, for, segmenting the race into segments, obviously, because that's what segmenting is. I think you can get away in 100K with just gels and chews, but you may want to, depending on how long it takes you, you may want to include foods. Like I was doing 100Ks in 11 or 12 hours. So
Yeah.
I just used gels and chews. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't have chews, but gels and lollies, right? I certainly wasn't eating noodles and shit. And that's the thing, you go for noodles, there's another 20 minutes at the aid station. Like, come on, people, we've got to get in 100 Ks, you're in and out of those
Yeah.
aid stations.
Yeah.
I mean, even in a miler, to be fair, if you
Well,
want to do well,
when we'll get onto the
yeah,
mileage shortly, but
very shortly, because we've got
yes.
15 minutes.
But yes, I agree that, I mean, when I did my first 100, I still did it in just, I think 13 and a half hours. So it's not like I was out there for a long time.
No.
But that probably shows how too hard I went out.
Yeah.
Because I brought it home so slow. I must have been, way too quick for the first
Well,
60
we
Ks.
both did that same course, and we've
Yeah.
talked about our training beforehand.
Yeah.
And your training for that course was everything was hard.
Yeah.
With me, my training was way more measured. I finished it in 11 hours 40, and
Yeah.
you finished it in 13 and a
13
half.
and a half-ish.
And his training, if you looked at his training, you'd go, he's the faster runner,
Oh,
he's the better runner,
yes.
absolutely the better runner. But because I'm controlled and I don't do my speed work as an all out sprint and run like I had easy runs, my time was way faster than
Yeah.
yours, because 2 hours is a lot,
Yeah.
right? So that's the difference between pacing yourself and not pacing yourself. Same course,
Yep.
but I would have paced myself. And I remember that race. Everyone went off from the start, and I remember, running along the beach where it's all straight, thinking,
Yeah.
oh my God, everyone's run off of me. I'm so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed that everyone had run off, and there was I on my Pat Malone up the back, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm always on my Pat Malone. But I came second female, broke the course record at the time. I mean, the girl in front of me obviously broke it too, sadly. Obviously, it would have been hard for her not to.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing really well because I went out slower at the start, whereas you would have, if we'd been racing side by side, you would have beaten me for the first 50K, probably.
Yes, you would have been one of those people passing me from
Yeah.
70 Ks onwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So you've got to control that.
Yep.
All righty. So 100 miler. Right. Now, once again, that should feel like you're working from the start, because it's not a Sunday long run, but not as hard as you would start 100K.
Yep.
Definitely not.
Yep.
But you're still working. You're not there for a Sunday long run and just, warming up. Yes, you are warming up, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. And the race is long enough that if you do make pacing mistakes in the start, that's a long time to suffer.
And this is a particular distance where you need to pay very close attention to the terrain that you're running on, because this milers in particular, you can get, milers that will be between 16 and 20 hours. You can get milers that are between 30 to 40 hours.
Yeah, like I did GSCR miler, that was 44 hours.
Yeah.
I did Ultra Adelaide, 26 hours.
Yeah. So you really need to pay attention to the terrain and what to expect. Really do a bit of research on what you're going to be seeing, because that will affect, or it should, completely affect how you approach your pacing.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just like the hills of the terrain, but the style of like GSR is so much more rugged, and like some of it through the
through Australian Alps, are you talking about
the GSCR when it went through, what's that section called? The bit that is wild.
Well,
the Viking.
Sorry, you were talking about a particular mountain. Yes.
Yes, through the Viking.
Viking, yeah.
Yeah, is that a mountain?
Yes.
I thought it was just a section.
No, it's a mountain.
Okay, I don't know. I was fucking off my nut.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is exceptionally.
It's very wild there. Like my hair was out here because it had been pulled out by all the branches because it was so overgrown. I was sliding on my ass going downhill.
that was the one where, when we marked it, because we marked it as like on
one
a particular day.
Yeah.
We marked it as like we ran out marking it, and then we came back.
You got lost.
And got lost our marking on the way.
Well, don't worry, I got lost going out and coming back.
Yeah, so we had to go back and mark it.
Oh, I cursed you
even more, because we lost.
Well, it didn't work.
Back on the way.
Didn't work.
So
we were all lost out there, walking in circles.
Yeah, so that was rugged. But then Ultra Adelaide was a lot more honourable.
It was road.
There were sections that were hilly and technical.
But it was hilly, but it wasn't like the hills were four-wheel drive tracks. Which is completely different to the Viking, right?
Yeah.
So, but time management at aid stations is still important. It's important for every race.
Oh, yeah.
But I see every race I go to, Like I remember going to CCC. No, not CCC, because I don't really remember that. Um, the Swiss Alps 100
Mhm.
and getting into aid stations, and it was like a triage unit, and it's only 100K, and everyone's sitting there, and I'd come in, grab my shit, and I'd be out of there,
Yeah,
and they'd still all be sitting there, and I'm like, it's not going to get any easier by sitting there and feeling sorry
no,
for yourself, and it's not going to get you to the finish line any faster. In fact, I'm tipping I'll get there faster simply because I haven't stuffed around for so long. Sitting there feeling shit is not going to help you.
that's right.
If there's something literally that you can do, like change your shoes if it's your feet, or change your socks, or do something, or if something's if there's something for you to work on, do that. That's fair enough. But I'm talking about the people sitting there going, oh, this is so hard. Oh my God, I just need a
I think
rest.
I'll have something to eat. Oh,
Yeah,
and
I
then
need a rest. This is so tough. Well, that's what you signed up for. Are
yeah,
you racing, or are you out there for a Sunday long run?
that's right.
You know,
As a crew, I particularly I noticed that with Ultra Adelaide was there was a lot of people spending a lot of time in the aid stations. When Isabel came through, she barely stopped. She certainly didn't sit down. More often than not, I was giving,
the only time I sat down was on the toilet.
yeah, yes. But quite often I was giving you stuff on the move.
Yeah,
Like I'll
that's
be
right. You would walk next to
walking
me.
with you, giving you stuff
Yeah, because
because
I
you
don't
didn't
want
even
to
stop.
stop. It makes me feel shit.
Yeah,
And I know these people go, oh, I just need to sit down. It makes you feel shit. It
yeah,
does. Because then you realize you've got to get up again.
yeah,
And that's a horrible feeling,
yeah,
right? That's what makes backyard ultras so dang hard.
yeah,
That's why it's such a challenge. So, and walking is part of the 100 mile strategy. Like walk while you're eating.
yeah.
Walk through the aid station and talk with your crew. I mean, stop too. Like I did sometimes stop. At that
Oh,
one before the climbs,
yeah,
I stopped there for a little bit, and but just on the back of the car.
yeah,
I didn't sit in a chair, and I didn't have a coffee, and I didn't go, oh, give me some noodles, cook the noodles, make the noodles, drink the noodles, eat the noodles.
mm,
Like, come on. You can do all that shit. And to be honest, if I want, I'm looking forward to food after the race. And one of the things I'm not looking forward to is 2 minute noodles. Ugh. Right? So
yeah,
you've got to accept that there will be lows and to just push through it
yeah,
because you are racing.
yep.
So whatever you do, don't race too hard in the first 50Ks. Don't ignore foot issues in a miler.
Most definitely not.
Do not
Treat
be,
them early.
yeah, treat them early, treat them fast. Do
Yep.
not chase other runners in the first 50K. Like, seriously. And make sure you're eating from the get-go. And actually, I was reading some research and they've found, and I used to be guilty of this. Well, I still am, but I'm going to change that now. Is you've eaten breakfast and you think I'll be right for the first hour. I don't need to have any race nutrition, and they're finding that people who don't eat in the first hour really put themselves back in
Okay.
yeah.
Mm,
So I'm going to start, within the first 20 minutes having a gel, okay? Because
yep.
and that's where it's discipline over motivation. Lord knows I don't feel like gels in the first 20 minutes, but it's discipline, getting it done.
Yeah.
Staying emotionally neutral when the shit hits the fan, because in a 100 miler, the shit will hit the fan and you can't take it personally and you can't get all strung out about it.
The person that does well is the person that's a good problem solver
Yes, yes.
and can problem solve on the go.
Yeah. So 100 mile, you are still pushing hard, not super duper hard. Like push super duper hard if you're vying for the podium. But it should still be you're not out for a Sunday long run. So it
No.
should be
So
harder than that effort.
when you're talking though, taking those walk breaks, you're not strolling.
Yeah.
You're actually walking with purpose.
Yeah, walking with purpose. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I mean, strolling a bit if you're walking uphill and eating so that you can breathe.
Yeah.
But you're better off to walk and eat than sit and eat, because at least with walking, you're still making forward momentum. You're
Yeah.
still moving forward. Every time you sit, I mean, I was listening once again to Rachel Entrican, and she's the same. She doesn't like to stay too long at aid stations. And I think this was before Cocodona just recently. She was saying, if you stopped 10 minutes at every aid station on Cocodona, and there's 35 aid stations, that's 350 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time to waste. And that's only 10 minutes.
Yep.
For most people, that's a short aid station.
Yeah.
Like, because most people spend 20 minutes at aid stations, if not longer. Me, 1 to 2 minutes,
Hmm.
right? And that's all you need. You don't need to chat and have a catch up and have a natter and a chinwag and a buffet meal.
And check your instas and
Yeah, and whatever.
yeah.
Keep moving.
Hmm.
Social media can wait. Friends can wait. Like Ron doesn't expect me to have a nice gossip with him, does
No,
he?
no, no. I give you what you need. Um,
Give me a
give
kiss.
you a kiss and give you a shove.
Yep, that's it. Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, too many people, then they go, oh, I was running well, but yeah, but you just wasted 3 hours
Yeah.
in the aid stations if you add it all up.
Yeah.
We don't have that many aid stations, and especially in a 100 miler, you wouldn't. But
No.
let's say in your average 100 miler, there's 10 aid stations, right? If you spend 15 minutes in those, that's
Yeah.
150 minutes.
That's
That's 2.5 hours.
hours. Yeah.
You take that off your time and you're no longer
Yeah.
chasing cutoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, come on.
Hmm.
Less than 5 minutes,
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Yep. Enough time to
I've
actually get what
always,
you need and
yeah,
move on.
I think part of the reason I've done well in races as well is not just because I was a good runner back then, but because I've always been fast through aid stations.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
I've always done that because basically I never used to have crews. So it would be like,
Mm.
what's the point? But even then, I've always raced hard through aid
Yeah.
stations.
Yep.
Got what I need and got the hell out of there.
Yeah. And I know that's the way you race. So,
Yeah, you
I'll
will
make
adapt.
sure that, I've got as much ready
Mm.
before you come in so that more often than not, I'm just handing you
Yeah,
stuff.
you're just handing it.
I'm not trying to find stuff. I'm not
Mm.
asking you what you want and then going and finding it.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm
So that's
as
where
prepared as I can be.
being ready for a 100 miler is getting your crew
Mm.
ready and
Yeah.
making sure that they understand that you need to be in and out, and what they need to do to facilitate that. Like if you are going to have noodles, they should be pre-cooked and
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't give a shit if they're cold because it doesn't matter.
Mm.
Okay. Like you've brought me coffees before and it wasn't warm and I
No.
just drank it because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm not there for deliciousness. I'm there for effectiveness.
Mm.
Right. And so,
Given you cold pies before.
yeah, they're fine. That's way easier to eat than a hot pie.
Yeah.
I've had a bloody donut in my pocket for a few hours. I've had a pie in my pocket. If I can eat pocket pie, you can eat cold 2-minute noodles.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got to keep eating, you've got to keep pushing. It should feel like a hard effort the whole way. Once again, pick it up towards the end, which would just mean that you don't slow down rather than you speed up,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
most
more
likely.
what it's like. Yeah.
But you want to cross that finish line of all of these races knowing you gave it 100%. So you have to work, you have to expect it to hurt.
Yeah.
Racing hurts. Okay. And people who go into races expecting it not to hurt are mistaken. And maybe it doesn't hurt if you just cruise it in and do a social run. But if you are wanting to race, it is going to hurt. And at times you're going to hate it because it hurts so much.
Yeah.
And that's okay because that's where you grow as a human being.
Yeah.
And that's where you become tougher. I'm sure all those walks I did with my parents is what toughened me up for it because they used to hurt so bad. I
Yeah.
used to be in agony for hours and I was bloody in primary school. It was
Yeah.
my worst, and it really reminds me of that. And so for me, it's like second nature to push through that. People go, why are you so tough? I'm not. It's just I'm so used to it
Yeah.
from 45 years of it, if not more, 48, 49 years of it, 50. I've
Yeah.
got photos of me
As a
bushwalking as 5 years old when I
yeah.
DNF'd.
Yeah. You did, but unfortunately, that didn't mean you got a lift home.
No, they just walked off laughing. And then I had to run and catch up to them because nobody was coming to get me. There was no sag wagon back then. So, like just, yes, it's meant to feel hard, not park run hard in the first 5Ks. And this is where people get mistaken. They think, oh, it's meant to feel hard, so I shall be gassing it. No, comfortably hard.
It's supposed to feel hard knowing that you've got to do
Yes,
this for the next.
knowing, you've got 97 miles to go. Not 2Ks to go, right? And so you have to learn what it all feels like. And the only way you can learn that is in training. So stop being so addicted to your watches and start learning what it feels like to work hard versus easy without knowing what your pace is.
Yep.
because it's the only way you're going to get good at this stuff is to do it, is to practice it and do some practice races. Yes, I know it's 2:58. Oh, don't be late. 2 minutes. It's
2
up
minutes.
there. Fine to Fridays. Woo! Got to get on because if you're 5 minutes late, they don't let you in.
No.
All right.
So on that note,
okay. And also sleep deprivation does become a much bigger thing in 100 milers.
yeah,
My first few 100 milers, I did take dirt naps. I don't do that anymore because I'm used to it now.
yeah,
But back in the day, my first ones, I took dirt naps because it nearly fucking killed me. I didn't know
yeah.
what the hell was going on. All righty. Now, if you want help training properly for your next race, whether it's your first half marathon, a 5K, or your first 100 miler, head to Peak Endurance Coaching because that's what we do. We help runners of all abilities have their best race ever.
To reach their potential.
Yeah,
whatever
to
that
reach
is.
your peak. Not do what someone else has done, not do what I've done, but do what's right for you. And you will be amazed. If you're sick of doing all this training and then going, oh, I didn't quite do what I know I'm capable of, then reach out because I am here to help you. So is Daniel, and Rebecca's coming on in the next couple of weeks to help you. So we are there for you.
You have to be crazy not to.
You'd have to be because honestly, you spend so much time and money on this sport. Like I said, I've had athletes say to me the cheapest part of their running is the coaching.
Yeah.
But it's the bit that has the most impact. Like
Yeah.
seriously, more impact than an expensive watch or raincoat. And I know because I've just bought lots of expensive raincoats that were shit. Imported from Italy and shit.
Maybe that's next week's
Oh,
podcast.
yeah. Yes. What? How to not spend a fortune on shit. Don't come to me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how not to spend a fortune and not and whatever. Just get Peak Endurance Coaching. It's yes, it's not cheap, but it's good value. It's excellent value for what you get. Like you get a shit ton.
Yep.
All right, enough.
Yes.
I'm got to go. I've got to go. Oh, it started. Oh no, it hasn't. Phew. All right, I'll just get the mouse watch working. Snooze that. Right, I don't know what we're talking about next week, but it's going to be riveting.
Yep.
All the wonderful things. Subscribe, rate, review. Tell us you love us because we're feeling a bit needy at the moment. No one's said anything. No one's given us a review for donkeys. So get on it and
catch you on the flip side.
All righty, we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.